Metro League high school sports are back.
Here's Jordan. Makes a stutter step inside, breaks a tackle. He's off the run. He's going to take it all the way.
Join Rainier Avenue Radio, your home team for Metro League football, basketball, baseball, girls soccer, track and field, bowling, and even more than that. We got you. Watch Metro League high school sports on Rainier Avenue Radio via Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch. You can listen in right at our website, RainierAvenueRadio.world, or download our app for free to listen and watch. Metro League High School Sports 2021 on RainierAvenueRadio.world, powered by the Urban League of Metropolitan Seattle, King County for Culture, and the Seattle Mariners.
Women are not an homogenous group.
We face discrimination differently depending on factors such as ethnicity, age, socioeconomic status, and more.
Rainier Avenue Radio is proud to amplify women's voices.
They are the experts of their own lives, initiating conversations within their community about challenges they face, the solutions they're working on, and the opportunities they see.
Please join us this Sunday from 2 to 5 for Women's Voices on Air. We know our challenges. We are the experts of our lives.
We are master multitaskers, prioritizing our family, friends, and our faith above our own needs.
Our needs and voices are too often overlooked.
Please join us this Sunday from 2 to 5 p.m. for Women's Voices on Air.
We tell our stories in our own way.
The City of Seattle's Democracy Voucher Program sent Seattle residents their $100 in democracy vouchers. These vouchers can be used to support participating candidates, including the mayor, 2 city council positions, and the city attorney for the 2021 election. If you did not receive a voucher or would like more information about the candidates, call 206-727-8855. Learn more by visiting seattle.gov/democracy voucher.
This is Rainier Avenue Radio.world.
Welcome to Real Estate and Money, a half-hour program on Rainier Avenue Radio.world designed to help you whether you're a buyer, seller, investor, or renter in real estate. Your hosts are 2 local professionals who will escort you on your journey. Violeta Strash, who has years of media advertising and marketing experience and brings this extensive knowledge to John L. Scott Real Estate and all our clients. And Tina Lombard, who is a mortgage loan originator with Cardinal Financial with over 28 years of experience. And now here's Violeta and Tina.
Hello, how are you?
Hello. Hey.
Great. How are things going?
Oh, real busy.
Okay, yeah.
Really busy, which is a good thing.
Yes. Busy is a good thing. That means business is out there. Grabbing that business.
Yep, you bet.
Great. So today we just want to say hello to everybody, and we want to remind you of our phone numbers. Our phone numbers are 206-717-4490. You can give us a call outside the show. And of course, you want to call the numbers on your screen. With me, it's 253-332-5986. And with V?
I'm at 206-406-5784.
Great. So we're going to start off with some market updates, correct?
Yes, we are. And folks, listen up here. Everybody is getting into the market one way or the other. With interest rates it's still low and holding steady, we're at 3.39% on the interest rate. Last year it was 3.46%. So it's still lower than it was. And we're looking at typically new listings transition to pending in the first 30 days. 30% is normal. Right now we're at 78% transitioning from listing to pending, and that's huge. So let's take a look at the numbers. For King County, active listings 507. We've sold 522, and this is from last Tuesday to this Tuesday today, and the average price is $1,004,000. Last year, 2020, this same time, $860,000. So that's a 17% increase. Now in Pierce County, There's 183 active listings, 262 sold properties. The average price is at $559, and last year was $438, 28% increase. Can you believe that? Pierce County.
That's
In
great.
this Snohomish County, active listings 183, sold properties 192. The average price is $709,000, and 2020 $568,000, 25% increase, double digits everywhere.
Okay.
There you have it.
So this horse is not slowing down. This train is not slowing down. Yes. So this is bringing us to mind why we are here today and what we're going to be talking about. We're going to be talking about 1031 exchanges.
Yes.
Yes.
Absolutely. Yes. That's something that I really need to know more about.
Yes. Yes. So let me tell people out there who do not know what a 1031 exchange is. Very elementary. It is a properly structured 1031 exchange allows an investor to sell property and to reinvest the proceeds on a new property and to defer all capital gain taxes. Okay. So would you like to save on money?
No.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Let's Erin. Different.
Yeah. Where's Erin?
So we want to bring on Erin. Erin Crowley is a good friend of mine, and she sat on the board with me at the Asian Real Estate Association. So, Daniel, can you bring Erin on board, please? Hi, Erin.
Hi, Erin.
It's a be here. Tina is my very favorite mortgage lender. She just completed the second mortgage for me. Rock star. So thank you. She saves me a lot of money. So. So I'm going to save your clients a lot of money. It's only fair.
Like it. That's the way the world goes round. So Erin, Erin, tell us a little bit about your background in 1031 exchange and who you work for and what is it that you do?
Okay, so I've actually overall background. I've been in real estate more than 30 years, which I hate to admit, but I've done pretty much a gamut of everything from residential real estate, commercial real estate, appraisals, law, you name it. So doing this is the most exciting because I really save people money, big dollars. I mean, anywhere from a few thousand to hundreds of thousands of dollars. And every day is different. Every story is different. It's just exciting. So I work for Asset Preservation. I am the regional director of the Rocky Mountain region. And but we're a nationwide company. So I do exchanges all over, from New York to Florida to California, all over the United States, Seattle, of course. I do a lot in Washington State, absolutely. And every place is crazy, but it's domestic only. So you can't take your money and go to Mexico or to, Europe, but you can take money from U.S. to U.S. Virgin Islands or to Guam. So there's some changes out there, but so asset preservation, we've been in business for 30 years, which is as long as QIs have been around. We are subsidiary Stewart Title. They've been in business for about 125 years. And we are, again, one of the top nationwide companies. We do about getting close to 200,000 exchanges that we've done successfully. And they've all been successful, hopefully. So it's just been a great ride. And right now we are just trying to keep up with everybody doing businesses and exchanges and so many transactions happening right now. And there's a little bit of uncertainty about what's going on in the future. So that drives a lot of business but it's a beautiful thing, as you said, to be able to defer capital gain taxes on your investment properties, because that means you get to work with your realtor and your lender and keep buying more investment properties and building your own portfolio and growing your own money so that, instead of paying the government to spend it on something, you are actually building your own portfolio. And are you actually making more money for the U.S.? Yes, because when you make more money, you pay more taxes, ordinary taxes. So it's actually a win-win all the way around.
So Erin, basically, if somebody's never heard about this before and they're an investor and they're selling their first investment property and they're thinking about buying something bigger, tell us what a 1031 exchange really is, just the simple schematics of it.
So the reason we have it in the, I'll just go back a little bit, just the reason we even have it in the code is the IRS says if you don't really make money and you continually invest in yourself or your property, your portfolio, your company, your business, then we're going to not recognize the tax at this time. We're going to allow you to defer it and keep building. So it's one of the provisions in the code that actually allows us to keep building our portfolio and grow the U.S. It's been a huge builder of economy since for 100 years. We're celebrating 100 years. So for an investor, it means that if I sold a property and I made, right now we are making profits, right, on our investment property. If I had to pay taxes on it, I can't go to the next level and get a bigger, better producing, stronger, more properties, better suited properties. Or if I'm a manufacturer and I need a bigger factory, it works all the way across for investors or commercial or everything. If I pay those taxes, I'm not made whole. I'm coming out of a hole. And just never able to get better. So by deferring it, it doesn't mean it's going away. It means we're deferring it until we finally pay those taxes and finally put cash back in our pocket. And as soon as we do, then we're going to owe taxes. So as long as we just keep exchanging and building and building and building, and each time we exchange, we reinvest into typically more or bigger or better producing properties. So it's always growing. So that's how it benefits. Instead of just selling, paying the taxes and buying, you're taking that little difference of tax amount, and instead of paying that, you're going to Tina and you're saying, hey, can you leverage this up? And by that, maybe it's at 50,000, maybe it's 10,000, maybe it's 100,000. But each time you leverage it, you get to buy better properties, more properties. So it helps you really, really expand your portfolios over time. Right. And again, if you ever cash out, the money goes in your pocket, the gain's right there, ready to be paid. So it doesn't go away. It just, now a lot of my clients will never pay that because they're going to exchange all their lives. They're going to keep building the portfolio. So most investors are investing for a reason. They're investing to build a portfolio. They're investing to take care of their families. They're investing to take care of themselves in their old age. So they've got a reason and a purpose. And so as you're building, the couple things that can happen that will help mitigate that gain. At some point, you can keep exchanging and then finally exchange into a beautiful house up in Seattle and finally retire there. And now you live in there and it's your primary home. And at some point, you actually have a primary home exclusion and you can mitigate some of your taxes that way. Or you live in there forever and you go out feet first and you pass it to your heirs at a step up in basis. And they get the highest value, and so those taxes don't pass on to them. They left with you. So there's a lot of, so it's a great strategy, and it's been used for business. For my client base is everything from somebody with a $50,000 condo to a $50 million ranch or farm or factory or commercial building. It runs the gamut, and it's not for the rich, and it's not just for commercial, it's everybody. I mean, so anyone who has an inheritance or a farm or ranch or condo or residential single family, they can all do exchanges if they're investment properties. And it's not based on what you make or anything. Is there a time constraint? Do you have to start the exchange before you actually close on the property? You do. So there's rules around it. Can you believe that? There are very distinct rules. And the rules are, one, you've got to set up the exchange before you close. You have to, because once you've closed on the property, you've sold, you've taken the money, you can't do the exchange. So you want to, typically when you go into contract, that's when you want to get it started. Before closing, that's everything set up. Now at closing, instead of the seller holding the funds, the qualified intermediary, which is what asset preservation is, we're going to hold those funds. We're going to hold them safely and securely, do all the paperwork, while that person, then the seller, goes out and finds more properties to reinvest in. From the day of closing, they only have 45 days. They've got 180 days from closing to closing, and the first 45 is all they have to go out and look for new properties, find what properties, and give us the list, asset preservation with a qualified intermediary, the list of the properties they want to buy. Now they still have another 135 days to complete that and buy that. So they do have 180 days, but the first 45 are really crucial, and it's important that they go out and they look for property. So it's not easy, but it's if it was easy, it wouldn't be fun, right?
It wouldn't. That's true. That's not the truth in life. But
I would rather have the money.
So I know V has a question, but before that, I want to ask you, how do you go about getting a 1031 exchange? Do you talk to your realtor? Do you call on the phone, or how do people even reach somebody like you?
So most of the time we work with realtors and lenders and attorneys and CPAs so that they know who we are and what we do. And if I'm going to do a taxable event, typically I've already talked to my CPA, and the CPA has probably already told me that I'm going to have a big tax hit and that exchange would be good. So the advice is coming from all different directions. I work with a lot of real estate brokers, educate them so that they know when it would be a good time for them at least to point somebody in my direction. We don't make a penny until and unless we hold something. So I just counsel people all day. Yes, this will work. No, this won't work. Yes, this is perfect for it. No, it's not. So it's not for everyone. It's not going to be for every transaction. It has to be an investment property. It has to be something that you've held for investment. You've rented out a piece of land. What it can't be is a primary home. It can't be a home that you just use for yourself and your family, a second home. And it can't be something you've just bought and you're fixing up and you're flipping again. So something with the intent to sell doesn't count. So it must be investment property, but it could be a lot of different things. It could be a farm in Iowa. It could be a single family residence in Washington State. It could be an office building in Chicago. It could be any of those things. And they all qualify for 1031 exchanges.
That's great.
So the professionals usually get a hold of me that way. And you want it. And typically when somebody goes under contract and they're dealing with it, that's when somebody directs them to call me.
Okay. So we're going to take a break really quick. When we come back, Violeta is going to go ahead and ask you a question.
Yeah, thank you.
You got it.
Tune in to Real Estate and Money every Tuesday afternoon from 2:30 to 3 here on Rainier Avenue Radio.world. Join your hosts, Violeta Strash with John L. Scott Kent North and Tina Lombard, who is a mortgage loan originator with Cardinal Financial. They'll help you navigate the waters of our volatile real estate market and offer you some guidance on how to make your hard-earned money work to make your dreams come true. Learn about current trends, get tips on financial matters, and have fun, interactive discussions about your home inside and out. That's Real Estate and Money.
Erin, before we go on, why don't you tell everyone your company name and your phone number real quick?
Yes. So my name, Erin Crowley. The company is called Asset Preservation, Inc., or API. We're based out of California, but we have offices all the way across the country and even in the East Coast in New York. My phone number, my 800 number is 844-273-1031. And my email address is erin@apiexchange.com. And I'm always happy to answer questions, always happy to talk you through anything. Exchange.
Okay, I have a scenario for you.
Okay.
I'm actually working on this deal. Say I have a client with a piece of property, vacant land, and would like to exchange it or do a 1031 exchange for a multi-family apartment complex, something. Do they need to sell? So tell me the timeline. They need to sell the land first, and then we have 45 days to get the multifamily home.
So how it works is they're under contract. That's when you want to get the exchange in place. It has to be exchanged. The paperwork, the qualified intermediate has to kind of be there, ready to go, talking already with the title company or the attorney or someone prior to closing. So that at closing, the funds come to us. So you want to sell first. They want to sell that land first.
I want to sell first. Okay.
So they're gonna then the funds that would normally say go to seller, due to seller, are gonna go to the QI, the qualified intermediate. We're gonna hold those, and then that buyer, that seller now becomes the buyer, and they're gonna go out and buy something.
And that's when they talk to Tina.
That's when they talk to Tina and they say, "Hey, I need to buy something. I've got." So the rules for 1031s, beside those timing rules, is value rules. So the rule for full deferrals, I've got to take that cash that I would normally put in my pocket and put it into something else. And I have to replace that debt that I just released. So if that person had a mortgage, they don't typically on land, but say they did, if they had a mortgage on that, they need to replace that on the other side with either new mortgage or with cash. So a lot of people think it's just the proceeds they walk away with, but if there's a mortgage on the first property, that money, that amount that was released, you have to replace one way or the other, or you're going to owe taxes on it. So we're talking about values for value. So on your client, just ballpark, what would the value of the land be? What would they sell that for?
$350,000.
Okay, so $350,000 minus some closing costs is what? So maybe it's $320,000. Now that's what they want to go and use to buy something else. They want to take all that cash, so they want to buy. It's not just the capital gains. It's not just the proceeds. They want to replace the value of the property they just sold with 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 or more properties of that same value. And that's a hard concept for a lot of people because they think I gave some money back to the bank. It's not in my pocket. Why would I be taxed on it? But for an exchange to full exchange, you're saying you've got a $350,000 investment property. Land is an investment property. And now I want to buy multifamily, another piece of land, a fishing lodge, a condo somewhere, a place in Florida. All those things are fine. But we're looking to be spending that $350,000 or more. If we spend less, we're going to have some tax implications.
Okay.
So,
and is it better to go? They've been working with a bank, but can they change from a bank to TINA or?
Yeah, wherever where they get the debt, where they get the mortgage can go anywhere. They don't have to go where they released it. So all they have to do, it can be debt of any kind. So if I have a $350,000 property and I've got $250,000 of that is debt, I'm going to have $100,000 in cash. That must go in the other property. And that $250,000, I can put some cash. I can go to TINA and get a $250,000, or I can get a $350,000. I can buy higher and higher. So the rule is take all the net proceeds from the property you sold and get equal to or greater than debt on the other side, on the next property or properties. And it can be 5 properties that you're selling, 20 properties that you're buying. It can be 1 to 2 or 3 to 4. It doesn't matter. It's that group of property value needs to be replaced with that same value or higher on the other side with a different group of properties.
Got it.
Okay. And it can be anywhere and anywhere in the country.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Yeah. So in your experience, Erin, this is great information. We just had a class here up in Denver for the 1031 exchange, and a lot of realtors came and it just kind of blew their mind. But in your experience, Erin, is this something that realtors should know? Is this something that not all realtors know? What is your experience with that?
Oh, any realtor if you're working just with primary home buyers or sellers, then they probably not. But typically, if they've got an investment property somewhere. It's only for investors. So anybody who's working with investors, you really want to know this, because I have so many people who close on a property and then they call me and it's April 15th, right, this week, and they're going to call and say, holy moly, I had no idea what my tax burden hit was going to be. Why didn't somebody tell me? And the first person that they point their finger at is my realtor never told me. They never said anything. I didn't know. They knew how much I was going to make on this property. I didn't know there was a way that I could defer this. So for one, the realtor gets to be the hero. You get to say, I've got an idea. What if we sell this property and buy you another property and help you not have to pay those gains? It's brilliant for the realtors too, because once you start exchanging, the gains build up. So they keep buying and keep buying and keep buying and keep building. And if you're a good realtor, they're coming back to you each time, especially if you were the one that reminded this. If you're the one who doesn't say anything, I've got clients who sue their realtors because they never mentioned this. So the best thing to do is at least mention it. You don't have to know any more than, hey, you're making a lot of proceeds on this property. You're an investor. This is a property you don't live in, property that you haven't just flipped, that you've held for a while. You might want to talk to your accountant, talk to Erin, talk to someone, and just steer them in the direction. If it's not the right thing to do, you haven't done them any wrong. And if it's the right thing to do, you've saved them a lot. So yeah, it's a good thing to help build a realtor's business, because I could go to some properties that had a whole lot of investors, some of those older condominiums or something that I know are just about to boom, or that I know people are wanting to buy in. And I might have somebody who doesn't want to move because if they had to pay those taxes, they they're in that situation where they're either a little upside down or they don't have the cash they would need to pay those. And if you can offer them a solution, then you've got a listing. So great thing for realtors to know. Education is on this is easy to find. I've got a colleague up in Seattle who could certainly do classes for you guys up there.
Okay.
And yeah, remind me to send that to you. And it's just good to know. Just like, realtors should know a little about a lot of things because your clients depend on you.
Okay, I have one
too
more.
Much. You don't want to do taxes or if somebody asks me questions about taxes and law, I do the same thing you guys do. Talk with an attorney, talk with an accountant. But
okay, Tina and I have a friend who just inherited a home and getting ready to sell it real quick. Now, taxes are due May 15th, May 16th, 17th, whatever it is. Should I be advising him to do something with the proceeds of the sale?
When we have inheritance, it's a little bit different because remember I said that you can keep exchanging until we call it kick the can until you kick the can, and your heirs get that property at a step up in basis. So if they recently received that property then they probably don't have much, if any, capital gain. Because if it was grandma's and she had $50,000 or $1 million worth of gain, even the heirs inherited at today's value, the value of the day she passed or they passed. So the only gain they'd have is from the day that person passed to today or to the day they sell it. So they probably don't have any, but it's a good thing to check because this is a crazy market and we've got gains in a couple of weeks. So it all depends. But if it's somebody who held it for a long time and didn't inherit it, then at least bring it up to them.
Okay.
Yeah.
There we go. I think we're out of time.
Hey, ladies, this was fun. Thank you so much. So call me anytime, 844-273-1031. And always happy to help.
Thank you. TV, you got some final announcements, V?
Yep. We are off the air next week due to Earth Day coverage on Rainier Avenue Radio.world. We'll be back April 27th to start our buyer series. And then, I want to talk to you all about buying now. We did our seller series. I want to talk to all the buyers out there who are trying to figure out this crazy market. And we have ways to get around things, but we'll take a look at the entire process every week for a while until we get all that covered. So stay tuned for our buyer series. And after this show, stay tuned for R&R live jam session.
Great. So thank you, everybody. And Erin, thank you so much for joining us. We'll have to ask you back.
Yeah, it's fine. Bye, guys.
Erin.
See you guys
Thank
later.
you.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.
You've been listening to Real Estate and Money with your hosts, Violeta, Strash, and Tina Lombard. For more information, call 206-717-4490. That's 206-717-4490. Go to the Rainier Avenue Radio.world website to find the Real Estate and Money schedule, or tune in to our live show every Tuesday afternoon from 2:30 to 3. We will help you find your dream home.